Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalie and today I'm going to be looking at the new Le Beige Water-Fresh Tint Foundation from Chanel. We're going to be doing a review and I'm going to be showing you guys a little tutorial of how I got this look. Let's just jump right into the review. First of all, I should mention that I wasn't entirely planning on purchasing this foundation. I already have the Healthy Glow from Chanel. That's a really great foundation. It's more like a medium coverage. And I also have the Chanel CC Cream, which I consider to be a light to medium coverage. I wear it on a day-to-day basis because it has SPF 50, and honestly, I just love how easy it is to apply. With that being said, I didn't feel like I needed another Chanel foundation to add to my collection, but after talking to the lady in the store and she happened to mention it was the last one in my color and it's selling out extremely well, I was intrigued and I had to buy it. In addition to that, I also learned that it comes with a little brush and I couldn't resist. I mean, Chanel makeup brushes generally go for about $60 plus, so I thought the value of getting a brush and a foundation from Chanel was incredibly too good to pass up. So I went ahead and did it, and honestly I have not regretted it because I reach for this foundation way more often than I thought I would. So what you need to know is that the Le Beige Water-Fresh Tint Foundation is very different from anything that the brand has ever done previously. This one is 75% water with little pigment bits, I should call them pearls or beads, suspended into the clear water gel. It has a blurring, smoothing effect that allows the skin texture to show through, which is very important to me because I don't want to go around with a heavy face of makeup on a daily basis. I prefer a more natural look, and I just reach for concealer whenever I want something to cover up any imperfections, dark circles, blemishes, anything of that nature. You're supposed to use the brush in circular motion on the back of your hand to just blend everything together, and then from there you can apply it from your face. I have tried this method and I found that I was using more because the brush was kind of soaking in all of that product. So what I do instead is I'll put it on my Chanel foundation brush. This one is an older edition, by the way. But what I like to do is take the foundation and add just a drop of it to my foundation brush, and then from there I'll apply it onto my skin. It's my preferred way of doing it, but you guys just do whatever works for you. So as you can see from the back of my hand, it is very, very minimal coverage. I would say it's ultra light. This is definitely for people who like a no makeup type of look. If you're looking for something that's more high coverage, I don't think this is going to be the foundation for you just because this one is very extremely sheer. What I love is that it gives my skin this really beautiful radiant glow. Even though I have combination to oily skin, I just love how it leaves this really beautiful luminous effect. I do, however, put powder on over top of mine because I need to set it. Otherwise, my oily T-zone is just gonna kind of create a slick effect, and I think that foundation is probably gonna just completely disappear from my skin. If you happen to have normal to dry skin, I would say you could probably skip the powder. In terms of no makeup, some other foundations in this class are probably the Nude powder foundation from Armani, which is very luminous, very light, and it gives the skin a really beautiful glow. I did do a review on it, so I will leave that up in the description box if you guys want to check that out. The Chanel CC Cream, which I absolutely adore. This has probably been one of my favorite foundations for probably a couple of years now. It does have a higher coverage than the Fresh Water Tint foundation, so do keep that in mind. If you guys are thinking that you're going to get a similar kind of coverage from the Fresh Water Tint, then just know that it's going to be much lighter than the Chanel CC Cream. These are definitely the two other foundations that kind of pop into my mind in terms of what I already have in my collection that might be similar. So now we're just going to jump into the makeup look, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm using the Fresh Water Tint foundation. And then at the end of the video, I'll make sure that I leave my review, how it wore throughout the day, and everything like that. So if you guys want, you can skip ahead to the very end. I will leave a timestamp for you below. If you guys want to see how I got this makeup look, then just keep on watching. So I picked up the shade Medium Light, and it is actually the perfect color for me. I have a very difficult time with foundations. They're either too light or too dark, and I think it's because this one is such an ultra sheer coverage. It just blends into my skin and it's completely undetectable. For this video, I am going to be using the brush that comes with the foundation, but on a day-to-day basis, I found that the handle is actually way too short and my hands start to cramp up. So I've actually been reaching for the Chanel foundation brush, and that is my favorite way to apply it. To prep my skin beforehand, I just basically use my regular moisturizer and SPF, and then once I've applied that foundation, I'm just going to be jumping straight into concealer just to cover up any of the little spots around my nose, around my lips, under eye circles, anything like that to even out my skin tone. I always like to prep my lips with a bit of lip balm when I'm doing my makeup. I just can't stand having dry lips. I feel like my lipstick fades a lot faster. This one is one of my favorites. And since this is a Chanel beauty video, I'm just going to be using all Chanel products. Next up, this is the Soleil Tan de Chanel. This is one of my favorite bronzers of all time. I just think that it does a really, really beautiful job at warming up my skin, especially now that it's summer and I don't like to go out and tan anymore. I don't use self-tanners either. I really rely on this product to add a lot of warmth into my skin, and I think it is such a beautiful shade. As far as I know, they only have this one shade, and I'm light to medium, so as you can see, if you're any darker than me, not sure how this bronzer would necessarily blend with your skin. This is the Rouge Coco Lip Blush. If you guys have not tried this and you're a Chanel Beauty fan, you definitely have to check it out. This is like a triple purpose product where it could be applied onto the lips, on the cheeks, and on the eyes as well. It goes on sheer, or you can add it full pigment for a really intense pop of color. I like using just a couple of little dots and then just blending it into the apples of my cheeks to kind of get that glow from within look. I'm going to be doing a couple of different layers of blush throughout this look, as you'll see later on. And just to make sure everything is nicely blended, I'm going to be using the same foundation brush, and I'm just going to go over the edges to make sure everything is nice and diffused. Like I said, I have oily to combination skin, so if I don't set my makeup, everything is going to fade. I'm going to be using the Chanel Loose Powder. This is in the shade 40, which I realize now is probably a little too dark for my skin, but that's okay. We will make it work. I don't want a matte look, so I just want to go in very, very lightly, but I will be going in with the setting spray after, just to introduce that natural glow back in. Using a product from last year's Le Beige collection. This is their really beautiful powdered bronzer. I'm going to be taking a fluffy brush and applying it to the forehead, hollows of my cheeks, and my jawline, just as I did with the cream bronzer. Now that I have my base powdered, everything is set, I'm going to be using this Chanel blush. This is in the shade So Close. It's just this really beautiful orangey kind of red color. If you guys have not checked out this blush, you definitely have to. Chanel makes awesome blushes, and this is hands down my favorite color from them. Moving into eyeshadows, I'm just going to keep this look very simple and very clean, as natural as I can. I'm going to be using the matte eyeshadows. This is in the shade 308, and they're just really beautiful matte browns. To add some definition to my eyes, I'm going to be using this waterproof eyeliner. This is kind of like a purpley brown color, I would say. My favorite way to apply it is right above the lash line, and then I'll go in with the smudge brush. I'll dip it into the darkest shade of the eyeshadow palette, and then I'll just apply that right over top of the liner, and that's going to help make the line a little bit softer, and most importantly, it is going to set that eyeliner so that it does not budge. Definitely try this trick if you haven't already. I promise it is not going to go anywhere. It is 100% absolutely going to set that eyeliner. For lip color, I am super excited because I'm going to be trying a new one for myself today. This is the Rouge Allure Liquid Powder Lipstick. I actually picked this up the week before and I have been loving it. It kind of feels like a powder, like a liquid powder, so I think that the name is very appropriate. It leaves a really beautiful natural matte finish, and what I like best is that the sponge applicator just gives you a really beautiful diffused look. Even though they're very different, this lipstick does remind me of the lip balm and powder duo that Chanel came out with a couple of years ago. You do get a very similar effect, which I'm such a big fan of. Like I said, I'm all about layering on the blush to get a more natural, beautiful look. So I'm going to be using the Healthy Glow Sheer Color Stick. This is in the shade 25. It's kind of like a pinky red shade. It's very pigmented, so I'll just apply it to the apples of my cheeks and then I'll diffuse it with my fingertips just to get a very natural look. I'm also a really big fan of applying blush in stages just so that I don't go overboard on the blush, because in the past I had a tendency to do that and then I would look in the mirror and I would kind of look like a clown. So now I like to go in with a very light hand in small steps while I'm doing my makeup. Also, if you ever pay attention, while you're dabbing blush on your cheeks, they will get redder. So it's good to kind of leave a little bit of time in between and then apply a little bit more blush later. Since I'm using all Chanel products, I'm going to be using the only highlight combination that I have from the brand. This is their Essentials palette, and there is a really beautiful gold shimmery shade in there, and there is kind of like a champagne-y shade as well. I'm going to be mixing both of those up and applying to the cheekbone, and I'm going to be applying a little bit to my eyes and a bit on the bridge of nose, just to add a little bit of shimmer and luminosity to my skin. Since I'm almost done my makeup look, I'm going to be going into one of my last steps, which is scent. I love fragrance. I change it up every day according to mood. Chanel No. 5 is one of my favorite scents. I actually apply this one before bed sometimes just because I want like a little uplift to my mood. The red bottle is their limited edition bottle that they came out with at the end of 2018, and I just love how beautiful it looks on the vanity. And then just some last steps that I'm going to do. I'm going to take the same berry tone from the COCO blush collection and just add it to the center of my lips. And then I'm going to be taking the Rouge Allure Liquid Powder Lipstick. I'm going to be applying just a little bit more because I want another little pop of color. I just want a stronger color, but still natural. So the overall makeup look is very much focused on the skin and having a healthy glow. I really love how the water tint foundation just kind of helped me accomplish what I was looking for. Often when I'm doing a natural makeup, I find that the foundation is way too heavy and it doesn't allow for my natural skin to come through. And I find that to be a little frustrating at times. I think that Chanel has done a phenomenal job with this product. It's like nothing that I've ever seen before. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if you guys are a fan of the no makeup look, if you just want something really easy to wear on a day-to-day basis, then this is the foundation for you. Definitely give it a try. I might not be using the brush that it came with to apply my foundation every day, but I think it's a great thing for travel since it is so small and compact. I'll definitely be doing that. In terms of longevity, I'm actually really impressed at how long it lasted. I set mine with a little bit of powder, and at the end of a long day, I looked in the mirror and I was actually really surprised to see that it wasn't patchy, it hadn't really faded. I mean, it is lightweight, so perhaps if it had faded, I wouldn't have noticed. At the same time, there are some products where they are lightweight and they have a tendency to slip. So if you put blush or concealer or powder over top of that, you're gonna get a patchy effect. And I found that my makeup wore very evenly all throughout the day. It lasted, and I am very happy about that. It could have been the setting powder, it could have been the setting spray that I used, but again, this product just did an overall phenomenal job at making my makeup last. So Chanel, great job on this. I think it is such a fun, innovative product. Again, we've never seen anything like this before from the brand. Fans of the Le Beige collection are going to be very delighted to try this, and overall I will give it an A. I will take away a point because I'm not the biggest fan of the little brush that it comes with, but it does add value to the overall product, which I really appreciate the brand doing. If you guys love the Beige collection, if you love Chanel collection, if you are a fan of no makeup, then definitely give this product a try because I think you're going to be very satisfied with it. Leave me a comment down below. I'm interested to know your thoughts, how it wore throughout the day for you, what your experience is. Definitely let me know if you guys like this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you are a fan of lipsticks, make sure that you check out my other channel called Lipsick, where I review all things lipstick all of the time. Thank you for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.